Repeat.
This is the ventricular system of the brain. Lateral ventricles. This would be right, this would be left.
It's this little thing.
We've got third ventricle
See how it kind of like
right in here. See that? And that? See how it gives way to get in there? Those are the interventricular foramen. On either side. Cerebral aqueduct.
Sylvius too, right? Sylvius. The other name is Sylvius, right?
Aqueduct is Sylvius, yeah.
Okay.
We got fourth ventricle down here. Anywhere you see the pink is a choroid plexus.
no, we didn't.
So if I do this, you can see the pink. Okay. Now this is not real good for the apertures, so I'm not gonna, with the openings over there. But the cerebral hemisphere will be right around here on the other side. What would be, I'm gonna show you today in class, associate with the diencephalon. With this, and diencephalon is epithalamus, thalamus, and hypothalamus. Those are the structures that you're going to see either form the walls or the floor of the third ventricle. This is going to be running right down the midbrain.
Okay.
And then
Aqueduct?
fourth ventricle. Here, I'm going to show you. Here, getting way ahead. It's okay. If I pull this brain apart. That is the cerebral aqueduct right there. See that little hole right here? And then you see kind of where, right in there, that's part of the fourth ventricle. Remember, I've got half of it here. But I could show you, I'll give you different views, and I'll sometimes make it a little bit easier. But if you notice in here, right in here is the hypothalamus. Right up here is the thalamus. This is the epithalamus, and they're forming the walls and floors of that third ventricle. If I use this model, I will never want you to tell me third ventricle. I'm actually going to be touching these structures, so I would never want the ventricle. Here, right in here, this thing is called the septum pellucidum. On either side, we'll have a lateral ventricle. On either side. Now this right here, this thing is called the intermediate mass of the thalamus, because you have kind of connects the thalami together. See that hole you have there in that third? That's where this is.
Oh, okay.
You gotta have a hole for that. But this is kind of surrounding that third ventricle, this whole area. This area is referred to as the diencephalon. This is the midbrain.
Yeah, it also
Pons,
holds
medulla oblongata. Collectively, that's your brainstem. Stem.
and it holds the brain.
Here's the cerebellum. But if I pull this, I'm going to pull this apart a different way so you can see stuff a little bit better.
And also it pushes
I'm going to take the cerebellar
cerebrospinal
and the
fluid
cerebral hemispheres
and,
out so you can see
subdural
everything by itself.
subarachnoid space. It pushes up.
Okay?
The arachnoid
There's the fourth
matter
ventricle.
pushes against the
It's a little diamond shape. So before you saw it this way. You have to get used to seeing the brain in different views because I may put it down in different ways. I could do it like this, pull it apart. I may have the cerebrum attached or not. So we'll be looking at some of these structures today in class.
And what are you calling this? I remember there was a name for that. This
What?
horns. Like the horns or something. What is... No, this structure, this one.
Oh, this is part, this here is the insula, which is one of the lobes of your brain. This, I'm trying to remember, no. This is part of, I'm trying to think.
Insular cortex, like this.
No, it's not part of the cerebral cortex at all.
No, insular
The insula is here.
cortex, like disgust.
Say it again.
Disgust. Like disgust thoughts, like if you see something that makes you nauseous, your insular cortex is firing.
The insula, I'm still learning about it because it's someone they didn't really know a lot about.
Okay.
And so some of the things it's involved in would be
Medulla oblongata.
taste.
I mean, makes
It's involved in taste, the interpretation of taste. Laughing, like when you listen to a joke. Moral intuition. They say it's involved in like addictive type behavior, but because I'll give you an example when they did some MRIs on people that had damage to it that they gave up like cigarette smoking immediately. So, but it's a lot of like all over the place because I didn't know. A lot of people didn't even know about the insula, but there are little islands kind of buried in here. But you see, it kind of looks like the rest of that. But these are part, I think, of the part of the caudate nucleus, the basal nuclei in here. But I don't ask about that one. This one's kind of weird. But in here, just a little bit. This would be part of the thalamus right in here. Just a little bit. But here's thalamus right here. Just a little bit of it. But we'll look at some of these structures.
Can you look at spinal again, please?
Yep. Sure. I got